Hey guys, Brent Hull Build Show, back at the 1881 Victorian. Ton of stuff going on, new framing, repairs on old stuff, bunch of cool stuff. Come join me. Okay guys, so we are here in Granbury, 1881 Victorian. I don't know where you've seen this thing, because at one point we tore this whole bay window off and now it's gone back in. What you're seeing, and what you're gonna see in a lot of the framing stuff, is a bunch of the changes that have taken place. And so, you know, we've used a combination of historic and new stuff. One, the historic stuff is old growth lumber. It's really good quality stuff. But look at our bottom plate, okay? It's a beam, it's a timber, right? And so you've got this timber framed sill, okay, that's sitting right on stone, okay? And this sill was rotted out, so we've used a pressure treated piece of lumber. We've also used antique timber, so we actually bought some antique timbers to put in there, because we're splicing and repairing a bunch of this stuff, and either that pressure treated lumber or an antique piece of oak you know is going to last a really long time. We do have some moisture issues, so we wanted to take care of that. But thankfully my framers know that I care about this stuff, so they've actually reused the original framing in combination with the new stuff. And you can see, you know, how we framed and are decking out this little bay window. Just part of the cool stuff we're doing. I want to show you this sill over here. It's really awesome. Look what we did. All this great framing. This is going to be the new kitchen on the outside. But here you kind of see some of the challenge of kind of adapting some of this historic stuff with new stuff. And so, you know, this beam here, okay, you can see the quarter sawn fleck marks. All right, it's all quarter sawn oak, okay? This is one of the antique beams that we've put in. But really in this corner, you're seeing new meeting old, and kind of how all of it's working. We've got this original stone foundation, right? Amazingly, it wasn't mortared together. If it was mortared together, it was a terrible lime, and it completely washed out over the last 140 years. It's kind of a dry stack system, the way this is laid up. Also, you'll notice that we have half lapped our corner here. So this comes across, this laps down, this was able to kind of lock it all together. That bay window, those beams were kind of just mitered together. Here we've lapped them. We've replaced this whole beam across here. This is all piece of antique oak. Where we had some rotting, okay, if it wasn't bad, we just left that piece. But you see where we've notched in and repaired. This is kind of what we were learning in North Bennett Street, how to repair and how to get this thing looking right. So anyway, we played around with some of this here, some repair, some new, some rebuilding. I really think that's awesome. Okay, so you're now seeing kind of the back here. We've got the original section. You can see the original wood, the addition, right? So what's gonna happen is we've got kitchen over here. This is gonna be a living room. That's gonna be the master. And then we've got a bedroom and 2 baths upstairs. And so really expanded the footprint of it, right? Remember, historically, there was an outside kitchen. There was no kitchen on this house. In the 1890s, reading some of the historic things that the owners sent me, this was added on, so maybe 10, 15 years later, an inside kitchen was added. Now, when we got here, it was just kind of a mess. It was a jumble of different things, and so gonna make that the living room. The original outdoor kitchen was over here, so the kitchen's kind of going back in the same place, but it's not a detached building as it would have been in the 1880s. Fear of fire and everything else, it just wouldn't have been an attached part of the house. Anyway, you're seeing the original porch that we've got going. We're gonna restore that. And there's a basement we've put in there. We've completely redone that. Let me show you that, because we looked at some of the foundation things earlier in videos. Today we actually can walk down there and check it out. Okay, we're in the basement, right? And so remember, this was the old wall, right? You can see the original plate here going across. We've shorted up with some LVLs that you can see. We expanded it that way, and we expanded it this way. You're seeing all the haydite block, right? Remember, this was waterproofed, dimple matted, gravel on the outside of this thing, French drain at the base. So we should have a really dry space, right? Mechanical space. You see the HVAC going in. Got a lot of usable space in here. Let's go up inside. I want to show you the fireplaces and the restoration of those things. We're rebuilding these fireplaces. We're reworking these. When we were shooting our podcast out here the other day, my son took a crowbar and lifted this thing up. We kind of found this original hearth underneath there, which is pretty cool. We've got our weights and pulleys, which we'll use again, but look at this awesome stone that we've got here. Awesome detailing. All of this work that's seen, all that checkered mark, that's a hand-worked mark. That is a hand-worked detail so that you can get a smooth face, right? How do you get a piece of stone smooth? You would use hammers and chisels to knock the face down. And so that's what they've done here. We're gonna repoint the back side of this thing, but now we've gone back, we've gotten an original mantle. We rebuilt some of this stonework where there was actually holes in it, but we'll actually be able to use, wood burning fireplace, log burning set in here, and this is really going back to its original look and its original feel. You might wonder, you look at the siding that we're saving, how are we managing that on the back side? We're going back with a wood siding again. So we're gonna have a consistent wood siding. It's a cedar, okay? It's a Western cedar. So it's a very long-lasting wood. We are, we're gonna run that all around the back. It's a drop siding, a beveled siding, just like this. So we are matching the profile. So you should see that, a consistency going around here. You'll also notice too here, guys, look what we've done. We've primed all the inside of our walls, okay? We've done that because a little bit of energy efficiency, really sealing up that board so it's gonna be sealed on the front and the back. That's gonna make it more stable. We're then putting a cleat in here that's gonna keep the rock wool off the wall. Then we'll fill this bay up with rock wool insulation. We got a 2x6 here, so we'll have a cleat to keep the rock wool from touching the siding. That's our air gap. We'll have the insulation in the wall, and then we'll put sheetrock back over top of this. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of things going on here, but we're really starting to tighten up. The MEPs are here, so a lot of fun stuff happening right now, and this house is really starting to come back together. We, have taken it apart, now we're putting it back together. This is the fun part. Okay guys, great update, a lot of fun stuff happening, cool things going on here, trying to balance, beauty, historic accuracy with energy efficiency, all fun stuff, bunch of dials and buttons we can push, so good stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think. I'm Brent Hull, thanks for watching.